Lamar Jackson came back in against the Miami Dolphins and did, to be honest, what we all thought he was going to do to that team, cooking them for 4 touchdown passes, lighting them up, and the Ravens defense stepped up as well to get a big win. Now with Lamar back, the Ravens kind of getting at full strength and figuring out their defense, they get one step closer to entering that playoff race. What is up, Ravens flock and NFL fans in general? Welcome to the Lumia Sports Podcast. If this is your first time listening, please check out some of these videos. What I want to show you guys, however, is our playlist section. We do every game, every week, going over all the teams. You can see every team you're interested in and our thoughts with them throughout the season. So the Ravens, them in themselves, have just been up and down this entire year. Defense being a mess. Glenn Doc Harbaugh maybe getting fired. We said that the Bears would spoil Lamar's return. Didn't happen. We said that Zay Flowers fumbled away their chances in the season. Not all the way true. And other things as well. They're a disaster. Multiple disasters. So please check out some of those videos. Now, back to the episode. Yeah, for the Baltimore Ravens, a team that came into the season with Super Bowl aspirations. They have one of the best quarterbacks a lot of us have ever seen in Lamar Jackson, a 2-time MVP. Even though you want to say this game was easy and an easy win, for them to go out there and win that game was huge, and win the way they did was big. Because standings-wise, that's just who they are. They're a 3-5 football team right now. They are the 10th seed. I don't believe the wild card is going to be their best chance, because if you look, the Chiefs right now are the 8th seed, and they're at 5-4. And the Chiefs have also beaten the Ravens, as well as the Texans. Yes, the Texans lost C.J. Stroud for a couple weeks, but their schedule is not that tough. And they also have beaten the Ravens, so I think that the wild card is going to be really, really tough. You see the Bills right there at the 5 seed. They also beat the Ravens. So I do think that that's going to be extremely tough. I think their best chance is going to be in the division, but they definitely have a real shot to come back, because right now, as we look at the AFC North, the Steelers, they did beat the Colts last week, and they are 5-3. But things still feel like they're, semi-teetering with the Steelers a little bit, and that they definitely can be caught. And the biggest reason I think the Ravens can catch them is because they still play them twice. The Bengals, all offense but no defense. Now, that could be a problem for the Ravens for sure. The Ravens defense has looked better, but we've seen them early this year get pieced up multiple times. And the Browns are just the Browns. They suck. So let's take a look at the Ravens' schedule, see how they got to this point. When you look, that loss to the Bills early in the year, up 40-25, is still just a real pain in the butt for them throughout this year. You smoked the Browns, that's cool. The Chiefs game, that was a tough loss. The Texans game, no Lamar. That was the first game Lamar was out, and I think they were just depressed. A Rams game, they lost that game too. At least they went to Huntley. I do believe that Bears game in Week 8, though, because, again, you haven't had Lamar for 3 weeks. You had a bye week. A lot of discussion on whether he would play. He didn't. But for Huntley to go out and win that game definitely saved the season, because the Bears were coming in on a big winning streak. The Ravens had they had lost 4 straight. And that win really may have turned some things around, because you got the Dolphins, you beat them. Big game against the Vikings coming up, but I think they're better than the Vikings right now. And J.J. McCarthy, I just would take Lamar in that matchup. And then, my God, Browns-Jets. So you could turn around and they could win 5 straight games, going to Cincinnati twice and Pittsburgh once in that next stretch of games. Got the Patriots and the Packers. Those are tough games, but if they just can, but if they go out and they capitalize against the Vikings, they are in a very, very good spot. Now, for the Ravens, obviously we got our new segment, Comment of the Week, and no comments last week. It's been a couple weeks since I released Ravens clip. I actually missed last week. That's on me. When they came up against the Bears, won that game, played great defensively. It came out, I think I got into Thursday already. That week was just wild. Last week was crazy, guys. So my apologies on that, Ravens fans. This one, there's not much really to say. Also, no comment of the week. I think I just mentioned that. Yeah, I'm a little losing right now. But for the Ravens and Lamar, he came back. He was, I guess, rough for maybe a possession or two. But once the defense and Gilman got that forced fumble, and they got the ball in the 10, and then just an easy touchdown to Mark Andrews. I mean, it was just on for the Ravens after that. You saw a mesh route concept when they were up 7-3 that just got Andrews again wide open. I liked the play calling in this game a lot more than I have with the Ravens for the most part throughout this season. Munkin was definitely cooking just with the passing offense, and Lamar looked comfortable, specifically in the second half, started taking off. That's really what you want to see. However, it's going to be tough with the Dolphins specifically. I mean, they're just so bad right now, and you saw they kind of gave everything they had against the Falcons, but they just couldn't go out, couldn't consistently put together, drives. And even when they got down the field, like they had a huge punt return that they got to the 30, didn't really help anything. And now credit to the defense. The defense went out there, got some stops, but you know what I mean. And even when they got the ball in the 30, they didn't allow the Dolphins to get in the end zone to even get a first down at that point. So that was good. I like what they did with Gilman now playing back. You see Kyle Hamilton more in the box. Roquan Smith had 12 tackles. Hamilton flying around as well. However, it is the Dolphins. I was way more impressed with what they did against the Bears, slowing down the Bears, kind of running offense. I mean, we saw the Bears last week. It looked a little different, but they scored 47 on the Bengals. We know the Bengals defense stinks. But for the Ravens, their defense was 32nd in the league for a while. It got up to around 24th right now. They allow 27 a game. Before it was at like 32. That's improvement. The last couple of games, 6 points to the Dolphins, 16 to the Bears, who are a 5-3 team, no matter how you look at it, and 17 to the Rams. Now, they lost to the Rams because they were out there trotting out Cooper Rush. Mistake, obviously. Wish they would have played Huntley in that game. Don't know if it would have changed anything, but at least it wouldn't have been Cooper Rush, and they might have had an opportunity. But defensively, now they have improved. It's a lot. This is what they did last season when they were in a similar spot. Defense looked awful, and they just got a lot better throughout the second half of the year. It is something that they do with their adjustments. You can say culture, Glenn Doc Harbaugh. For whatever reason, their defense steps it up. And with Lamar in, their offense looks explosive. However, the Dolphins they are just moribund, and they do suck so badly, actually, that after the game they fired their GM. So I'm sorry, Ravens. That was cool and definitely need to see more. But I think really this Vikings game is clearly going to be a litmus test. The Vikings just went out there and they beat the Lions. They did it, setting a lot of pressure. Jared Goff can't really move. But they did send a lot of blitzes. The defense, that passing defense, we've seen them lit up by Hurts and Herbert, and we've seen them stop a lot of other quarterbacks. Goff was the first good one that they stopped all season, though. So that's going to be interesting. J.J. McCarthy played a much better game than I think people want to give him credit for. He was making huge plays in the red zone, knowing when to take off. Very smart game, but also his ability to run. So it's going to be interesting. Another test, I think, for this Ravens defense. A real test for this Ravens team that, again, we didn't see it against the Dolphins. I would say the Bears are a big test, but not seeing against the Dolphins. And you're not going to see it with the Jets and Browns. And I'm going to be honest, Ravens fans, you shouldn't want tests. You should just want wins to get in the playoffs and to see what happens. But they do really, really need this game against the Vikings specifically because down the stretch picks up a little bit more. You get those divisional games, but this one is one that is huge, and I'm interested, man. I think the Ravens are going to win. They're favored by 4.5. I don't know who I'm picking. I think I'm going to go with the Ravens. I like Lamar over J.J. McCarthy, and you would think, like, in this spot he would come up big, but they're 3-5 team for a reason, and you just hope that defense is really fixed with Kyle Hamilton playing up near the box and seemingly them being more physical. But we will find out on Sunday against the Vikings if this Ravens team and if this new look defense is for real. Thank you guys so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed. Please watch some of the other videos on the site. I've created a playlist with each and every football team, and every week we will be going over those games. I'm really loving this, enjoying it, and hoping you guys are as well. Of course, like, subscribe, and if anyone wants to sponsor, we're looking for Lumia Sports Productions is looking for sponsors. Shout us out. We will shout you out during the video. Thank you guys again for watching. Have a great day. Enjoy.